Hello everyone, this is Teacher Nina Arellano, and for today's video lecture, we will talk about the figure of speech applying Kendall on Marzano's taxonomy. So for this, our objectives for this lesson is by the end of this lessons, learners will recall the definitions of common figure of speech, to understand their functions and communications, to compare and analyze examples, to apply figures of speech in writing, and to reflect on personal learning progress, and to connect emotionally to the importance of creative language. But before we will stride into our lessons for today, let's have first our recall. And this is called Week Recall Quiz. Define the following: simile, metaphor, personification, and hyperbole. So anyone who could recall what is simile, who can still remember what is simile? Yes, Allah? You are right. Simile is a figure of speech that draws a comparison between two different things using the word like or as. How about metaphor? Who could share their knowledge or who could recall what is metaphor? Yes, Ashley? Yes, you are right. Metaphor is a direct comparison without the comparative words like or as. How about personification? Who could share? Yes, Albert? Yes, you are right. Personification is attributing human characteristics to non human things, such as animals or inanimate objects. How about this one, hyperbole? Who could share? Yes, Diane? Yes, you are right. Hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration used to emphasize an emotion or description. So, you very good, everyone. You still have recall the common types of figure of speech and their meanings. Now, to further test your understanding, let's have first this. Identify the figure of speech in this sentence. So the first sentence, the thief was as lay as the facts. What do you think is the figure of speech being used in the sentence? Yes, Alana. Oh, simile. Let's see if you have got the correct answer. Yes, it is a simile. Why is it a simile? Because it is a comparison between the thief and the fox with the use of the word as. That's right. So the next sentence. It seemed that the sky was going to cry the entire night. What do you think is the figure of speech being used in the sentence? Yes, Diane. Personification. Let's see if you got the correct answer. Yes, it is right. Personification, because it is attributing human characteristic into something. That's right. Next, let's proceed to sentence number 3. I would forgive you when pigs fly. So, what do you think of figure of speech used in this sentence? Yes, Ashley? Hyperbole. Let's check if you got the correct answer. Yes, it is a hyperbole because it is the use of exaggeration words in a sentence. Pigs fly. Can pigs fly? Of course not. So it is an exaggerated words used in a sentence. Next, let's proceed to the fourth questions. His heart is a stone. What figure of speech is used in a sentence? Yes, Ella? It is a metaphor. Let's see if you got a correct answer. Yes, it is a metaphor. Why it is a metaphor? Because it is a direct comparison between the heart and the soul. Now let's proceed to the last sentence. The soldier jumped on the enemies like a hungry lion. What do you think is the figure of speech being used in the sentence? Yes, Ella? Oh, simile, let's see. You got the simile. Why is it simile? Because just like it is a comparison of the word soldier and hungry lion using the word like. So very good, everyone. You really recall the common types of figure of speech and how it is used in a sentence. Now, So figure of speech make language more vivid and expressive. An example is simile. Her smile was so bright as the sun. So comparison between the smile, the bright smile and the sun. For metaphor, her smile was a sunny. Direct comparison between two things, which is the smile and the sun, without the words like or as. Na compare and contrast. Simile is comparing using like or as, while metaphor is direct comparison without like or as. So, question. Which do you think is more powerful in writing? Is it simile or metaphor? And why? Yes, Adrian? Thank you. Yes. Both similes and metaphors are useful, but for you, metaphors are more powerful because they can create imagery or stronger imagery and emotional impact. You're right. Now let's proceed to further test your understanding about the figure of speech and how it is used in a sentence. Let's have an application. So each of you will write a short four-line poem using at least two figures of speech. For example, summary and personification. Thereafter, you will change your work into your setmates and you let your setmates identify the figure of speech used and as in your poem. I will only give 5 minutes for you to create your poem and then we will exchange your work your setmates. Okay, time's up. You will share your poem to your classmates. So you will let your setmates check your work. All right, return your papers to your setmate. Who would like to share their poem to the class? Yes, Angelo. Yes, your poem. The moon is a lantern guiding me home. The stars swing softly in the velvet dome. My heart beats like drums in a distant hope. Then hope blooms within where shadows once stayed. Very good. What an very good composition of poem. Now let's together identify the figure of speech being used in his poem. So the first line, the moon is a lantern guiding me home. Is there a figure of speech used? Yes, there is. And what kind of figure of speech being used in the sentence? Yes, it is metaphor, a direct comparison between the moon and the lantern. The second line, the stars wing softly in the velvet dome. Is there a figure of speech? Yes, there is a figure of speech, and it is personification because giving attributes, which is the stars, wing human attributes to non-living or to other things, which is the stars. The next line. My heart beats like drums in a distant parade. Is there a figure of speech used? Yes, there is. It is a simile using the word like or as, which is our heart beats like drums. That's it. Okay. So for your reflection, you have to answer the following questions individually and then share your answers to the class so that they will know your insights about this. Which figures of speech do you use the most? I will only give you 5 minutes also to answer the following questions, then we will proceed to sharing your answers. Time's up. So, who would like to share question number one to the class? Yes, Shailene. Which figure of speech do you use the most comfortably? All right. So for you, the most comfortable figure of speech to use is simile because it is clear and direct. They are usually straightforward, so readers immediately understand the comparison. Thank you, Shailene, for your insights. So how about question number two? Which one do I want to improve on? Dariel. All right, you answer personification because it requires deeper creativity. So you must carefully match human traits to objects in a way that it makes sense. Very good. How about this third questions? What steps will I take to practice using them in writing? So who would like to share? Yes, Erica. Yes, to practice figure speech in writing, start by understanding, then reading samples, trying sample sentences, then connecting to real life, and then revise carefully, and then apply it so that you can make a longer thesis. That's also very good, a very good insight. And now we are done with reflection. Let's proceed now on making your story. You are making now your story. Use a story that personally connects you and explain how it relates to your life. And you also share that story to your own. So that's questions. Why do you think figure of speech matters beyond the classroom? Yes, Angelo. Yes. Yes, you are right. It is. It matters, or figures of speech matters beyond classroom because it is widely used in our daily life for communication, leadership, and professional fields. It helps people connect ideas, inspire others, and express meaning in powerful ways. So that's the true essence of using figure of speech. It is not just in the classroom, but also outside the classroom. So I can see that you really understand the kinds of part of speech and how it is used in a sentence, expression your idea, your stock knowledge about on what is this. So that's all for today. And before I leave this session, let me leave you this quote. Figure of speech are not just tools for literature, but powerful ways to express ourselves in real life. So that's all for today. Goodbye and see you on my next one. Bye!